We are now in May, and thankfully we're starting to see some lifting of some of these government regulations. But at the same time, we're being very cautious about reopening businesses. We're being very cautious about using facilities as they're reopening, and with good reason. Many businesses and business owners I've talked to are concerned about reopening their business. I just want to urge you in this situation to be careful. I want to urge you to, in whatever hat you're wearing at that particular time, to think about the other guy, to think about your employee, to think about your customer in determining what is safe and what is not safe. Many employers have come to me and said, what about liability in this situation? What potential liabilities do I have opening versus not opening? I'll tell you this, the same tort laws apply. And what I mean by that is that we all have a duty to act reasonable under the circumstances. And each circumstance is going to change, and it's going to change based on things that you know in your particular area. So if we have a resurgence, if we have an outbreak, that especially one that's localized either in your industry or in your area, then that's something you need to consider in determining whether or not to fully open again, or whether or not to change the way you practice, or the way that you do things in your business. It's critical in these times that we do that. Now, many politicians are calling for blanket immunity. Immunity means no responsibility regardless how reckless somebody is. That's a bad idea. They're telling us that it's safe to reopen, and if it's safe to reopen, then we ought to be able to reopen with the same level of law and order as we did before, and the same level of safety. We lose safety if we have immunity. There's a general saw that I use sometimes to say, when everybody's immune, nobody's safe, because there's no incentive to make people safe. We need to keep that incentive in this situation, especially in this situation. We need to keep that incentive. I urge you to be safe when reopening. I urge you to think about what's going on in your individual market. If you have any questions about reopening, if you have any questions about COVID-19 liability in your individual situation, feel free to call us at the McCraw Law Group. We're here to help. We want to help everybody we possibly can. And that includes both employers, employees, both customers and business owners. So if you need some help, if you need some advice, don't hesitate to call us.